Good evening. You gonna say good evening? Good evening. Oh my, bless her soul.
Ain't nobody here yet.
But you already know this that people will come in. Forgive her. Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to another segment of Sisters in the Sandbox. And as I always do, I'm putting my disclaimer out there. Hey, I'm putting my disclaimer out there, letting you know that these are just our thoughts, our opinions, our perspectives on the matters. These are not biblical principles, standards to hold us to. All feedback is welcome. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, right, wrong. There is no right or wrong here. Everybody has a voice. So please, if you have anything you would like to say, chime in about the topics that we share, by all means, it's welcome. Feel free. Also, we just want to say that there will be times that when we share different topics that involves sharing information for like different hotlines and stuff that we will post that within the comments, depending upon what it is that we are elaborating on or speaking about for that evening. But tonight, we're going to be talking about family feuds and some of the secrets that stems from that and how I guess it gets started or derived and carry on and the grudges that is held. Hey, Sissy. Hey. So, Sissy came up with this topic, and then towards the end, because Sissy had wanted to do actually some songs, we'll do a song towards the end, but we're going to let her elaborate.
Yeah, let me elaborate because yes, my sister did want to do a.
Now why you acting all professional?
She did want to do.
She acted all professional.
She wanted to do a segment of singing. Of singing. It is nothing. It's nothing wrong with singing. I just felt like it was like not a platform for it. But she said she wanted to do it for the holidays.
Who's that? Carrie something Crawley. Oh yeah, this is a good topic
because at the present you can cancel Thanksgiving. Oh Lord,
at the who?
At the present you can cancel Thanksgiving. I guess because of the COVID and the pandemic or something, or some people.
I have no idea, but. She wanted to do singing. She wanted to do singing for like the whole duration of an hour. And it is nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with that. However, me and my sister, well, actually just Annie, had came to the point or to the resolve of that we're going to do a song at the end.
Yeah, a compromise. Yes. Because I always like I said, to acknowledge because she didn't feel acknowledged. So we are going to do a song towards the end.
I'm just in my feelings right now.
And I'm going to hum. They're going to sing.
Why you want to be participating?
But you said you wanted to do it for what? For what purposes?
The holidays.
For the holidays. What holiday did you want to sing for?
Okay, so after Halloween is what?
No,
and Christmas.
Let's tell.
Like they have Christmas stuff right now. They got Christmas stuff up right now.
What holiday did you say?
I didn't say Halloween.
You said.
Tanisha said, "Well, Lord, what holiday?" She said something else.
She wanted to do it for Halloween.
No, I didn't.
She said, "Well, what holiday is coming out?"
No,
Halloween.
She said Halloween. No, yes. I didn't. No,
we just said this right before this thing went on. Don't do that. Because I said secrets is going to be exposed to that.
Kenny say, y'all said hell no.
That's what she.
I did not say that. I did not. I wanted to do the singing.
Oh, Tanisha ain't right. She said, "Sing the Great Pumpkin." The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I know the thing, but either way, to the topic at hand.
Yes. Okay. So.
Yes.
I just wanted to get that out since we were on topics of family secrets and everything.
I didn't know that was a secret though.
It's not, but I have another one, but I don't want to expose people. That
Tina said, trick or treat, smell my feet.
It wasn't about Halloween. It's about being the harvest and being jolly and joyful and celebrating stuff, just that. Okay.
So we're gonna make a joyful noise towards the end of this podcast.
Okay. So what are we gonna say?
And you're not even trying to compromise because you said you was gonna hum. You could do it.
That's compromising.
Really? Yeah. Oh, so you that professional that
yes,
you
I
can?
am.
Kitty, go start.
Let's
go because this is gonna be an interesting podcast this evening.
Is it?
To say the least. So we're talking about family feuds and the stemming from family secrets, where people hold on to like grudges, and how actually holding on to those things, how you still interact with other people now, other relationships, friendships, how you have relationships with your significant others.
I don't know.
All the things of that nature. What you experienced growing up with your family, dealing with conflict, all of that. So
that's the most important, and that's your family unit is the most important relationship that you have, because actually it's going to stem from your family.
Go ahead.
Who said that?
Everybody's saying I don't know the pumpkin patch song.
I don't either.
And Nisha said what I want to say. I mean, I just wanted to do something different. Yes. And y'all know that the ones that know us know that we can sing as sisters. And I felt in my heart, since it was my topic, that we could sing. And then, just y'all come up and be like, oh, do a request and be like, oh, can y'all sing this? Can y'all sing that? We could do just
much like y'all doing now, but I don't know nothing about Charlie Brown and the Pumpkin Patch. I mean, I know the movie. I mean, yeah.
Like, it could be a rehearsal for us. You know what I'm saying?
Rehearsal.
This is just a rehearsal. When we get to heaven, we're gonna really sing.
Anyway, come on. See, that's exactly how she would be singing.
No, I would rehearse. But you just don't like when I cough and be like, okay, you ain't on your case.
Stop singing. Exactly. And then could you imagine doing it for 45 minutes? Like, you'd probably be moving your lips and nothing coming out.
For that.
And so,
but sis, get on going on the top, and then we'll do that.
Okay, she got me. That's not a secret, though. She got
welcome all.
Yeah, we already said that on this platform. But like I was saying, your family unit is actually the most important relationship that you're ever going to experience, because out of that, your family unit, you're going to develop individual relationships and friendships and how to interact with other people around you. Now, I will say this, our family unit, I will say this, every family has a dysfunction.
And if you sit here and say that you don't have any, the devil is a liar. Nobody is singing in Vogue.
Every family has a dysfunction, and it could be on both sides, your mother's side and your father's side, because it's on both our mother's side and our father's side.
Yes, because there's no handbook. There's no hand guide to what the actual correct way it is in rearing a child. All right, Tina, what's your question? What's up, Ladybugs? But yes, there is no wrong or right way in which a child should. Everybody is trying to do the very best that they can with the tools and equipment that they were given. And sometimes what we are given, we know what not to give when it comes time for our children. And most times, I'm gonna tell you, most times what it is that whatever that we lacked, we try to pass on to our children. So if we lack something, we in our minds like, well, I'm not going to allow my child, I'm not going to go through that because this is what happened to us.
Or what we didn't like.
Exactly. And what we didn't like, we'll say, oh, we're not going to do that. So you definitely got to keep that in mind.
Okay, well, it was a big, huge secret. I'm going to put it on, let's start with dad's side. Because we know the dad's side secret, which was a huge secret. Yes.
What was that?
And we all know.
Are you talking about like incest?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people
some families have that.
It was a real big thing, but my dad did not know how to.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to separate family
you marry into from the family you grew up with?
Wait a minute.
And what else? Y'all gonna say what?
Okay. Supposed to separate from family you married into from the family you grew up with. The two should be one, because basically y'all come together.
Yes, because both families, because I know sometimes it might be hard and the family might not accept who you marry.
That is true.
And it makes it hard, but that is a
true.
dynamic or something you have to take in consideration to say, will my person be able to go around that other side of the family and still be accepted? Because just like that, we can't pick nobody's mate. And that person in the Bible, it says cleave unto your wife, and you make your own family.
Because in cultures they do.
Yeah, well, they can pick and choose some cultures because
Tina said, like, do in-laws still have rights?
Oh yeah, I think they do. They do have
what?
Like if it comes to like children and stuff. Like, okay, say if there are rights like grandparent laws, all of that is still in place. Yes, there is rights. Like they have rights because they're viewed. I'm talking about as far as grandparents laws, because it was one incident that happened before where the family had to figure out who to give the children to because of the parents having to go to jail.
Well, honestly, if they have godparents, the godparents is actually supposed to take over that.
But they all have certain rights. That's what I'm saying. So it depends. That's why I always tell people, always document what you want to happen in case something happens. So then that is what the whole purpose of having godparents, godmother, godfather.
Not that is what they're supposed to.
I got a
exactly. Oh, I got a God. That when you say that, you taking an oath before God. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Jones said, if there's
no dysfunction, then it's you. Meaning what?
If there's no
dysfunction, then it's you saying that person is dysfunctional? Yes. I cannot with this husband to be of mine. I love him dearly. Oh my God.
Again, sidebars.
Yes, but
okay. Everybody gonna feel that they have rights as far as in-laws. Not everybody's gonna get along, but you try to do your best. I know for some women they'll try to go out their way for the mother-in-laws and the father-in-laws and to have them acclimate into the family, to make them a part. And sometimes the mothers or the parents, they just don't like who their spouse is, honestly.
That's the thing, having to deal or cope with that, because you have some people who might not get along with their in-laws.
Tina said, basically, do my husband's mom still have an opinion and disagreements?
And disagreement between who? Because not between husband and wife. Because Bible clearly states, when a man or woman leaves the family, they cleave into your own. You're making your own family establishment. So that becomes your husband, man, God, the husband, man, the children. Yes, it's us.
Exactly.
She can give her suggestions, not trying to not
when warranted.
Yes, and you are able to decide whether or not you want to take that in consideration. But at the end of the day, it is something within you and your husband and your household, and whatever it is choice that y'all make, because it clearly states in the Bible. You can't run. You can't still. It's just like me trying to run my adults in their relationships. That is something I stay out of. Unless you physically doing something to them, then I will involve myself. Outside of that, I am an outside person. What you left for?
I'm watching the movie.
Yeah, that's my son in the background. I agree.
In-laws have rights when it comes to children. Children, if they're grandchildren, but not.
Let me tag them. You can tag them.
The wife or husband. Okay, can I just say this? Because I want to
children, if they are their grandchildren, but not the wife or husband.
Can I just say this? I want to say this because a situation just arose with me, my mom, and my husband. Now, I went to my mom.
Thank you.
With the understanding of her to understand me, to
get feedback, because she experienced it.
But you already know how your mother is going to be.
Yeah. So I went to get like she said, feedback, but
how to deal with that,
with the situation. So in turn, my mother went left.
We're gonna say over her boundaries.
Yeah, she did, and I did have to say something to my mom, even though my mom was like,
no place, but
that's not from a good place.
No, the way her delivery. Let's just say when we went back to her house,
all the way wrong.
All the way. Yes,
no,
the way she
it's
said
all the way wrong.
But she was
all the way wrong. All the way wrong. You can't condone that because it was
absolutely wrong.
But anyway,
next time
I went because most of the time I go to my mother. We go to our mother because not only is she our mother, she is also our friend. So she's that person that we lean on and you go to. So most of the time that's who she is. But I wasn't looking for her to do what she did to the husband. And then the husband in turn kind of put her in her place.
He just ought to.
And I wasn't mad with him. And I was really like, oh, okay. So but in turn, I don't want my husband thinking, oh, you this, you tell this and that. But my thing, and it came from a good place, I went to seek help of what to do with a situation. I just wanted to know about
the feedback from
I didn't
experience.
I didn't want her to go
to be able to make it relatable.
But you gotta understand take in consideration where the source is and who the source is. And this is no discredit to my mother. Like it's certain things she is very knowledgeable.
Understanding, she can
very
be
knowledgeable of.
However, she went
that situation
went total left,
totally.
But back, we done,
But
we
as
digress.
far but bringing it in as far as the incest secret from my fat, Miss Jones has
no cut cords. What she says is from the heart. Yes, she doesn't mean any harm. She just wants what's best for her children. She wasn't looking to hurt his feelings. Her delivery is strong.
It is very, very
and
strong.
I think that's where we all get it from. Actually, when it comes to our delivery on certain things.
Very, very.
I think
girl,
it does.
Please.
Yes.
What? How is my delivery?
Strong. It can be strong.
My delivery?
Sometimes, yes.
Not in a relationship.
No. She
not in a relationship.
No, not in a relationship.
I would have to like I think I have more patience. And
yes, she does.
Then it's like, okay, you get to the point that you have no more patience and you just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, but but we starting with our dad with his secret because that was really kind of hard for
his secret though.
It was my grandmother.
Secret.
It was my grandmother's secret.
Exactly.
But she told it, and it took my dad on a spin where we were trying to understand it, and he kind of told us. And how can I put it? Like he thought that the same thing that he went through that definitely me. I don't know what he did to them, but I know what he did to me because I was a young mom. He literally just like it's like a shunning thing. It was just like, and I'm like,
it was like we sheltered from that. Like we couldn't even watch certain shows that involved movies that
like he didn't at one time he didn't know when Color Purple came out and it was big back in the 80s. He didn't want us to see it at all. Yes, it was like because it had
we had to do a lot.
It had a lot of stuff in it, and I think it was incest in that too, wasn't it? Yeah. So
then you had the stepfather. Was having sex.
So with that being said, like my dad, he came to us with it. And he did come to us.
But it was when we were more younger adults.
Yeah.
By that time. So quite naturally, we just didn't understand. All we know, we was told no, that we couldn't watch it at that time when we were like,
but I think my dad
pre-teens at that time.
I think my dad sheltered us a whole lot.
We pretty much had
a lot
of life for the stuff. For the
even like birthday parties and things like that.
He didn't like us around a lot of people.
No.
So do you guys feel like in some way he was protecting you, or do you feel, I guess we gotta wait for her to finish the rest, but I think he was protected so that we wouldn't be exposed to it.
Yeah.
And I guess with us not like some people feel this way, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't expose them to it, they don't know nothing of it.
Exactly.
But you can't be naive because
he didn't hide it
blacking out. He didn't,
He didn't hide it from us. He was, I'm gonna tell you,
he waited till he felt that we got to a point
that we could understand. And he didn't hide it from us, but you could tell my dad was in a hurt place. That hurt him to the utmost. And
of how you gotta
also, I get what I say. You also have to understand he was in his mid-30s when he found out
all of this,
everything.
Yes.
So
It's understandable.
Yes, when he was trying to figure out his family tree. So but what do you feel, sis, when it comes to but what about these things as far as family secrets that become feuds? Like, what type of feuds did you want to actually elaborate on to bring insight into and enlighten people as how it affects the family dynamic?
Because just like I was saying, just like Daddy, exactly. I'm not going to say that he had grudges, but I will say this is that how he felt and him not dealing with it. There were some things that he had done that also hurt my mother because he could not internalize or externally deal with some of the secrets that he was made privy to. So with that being said, not to say that was right decision that he did, but he did it towards my mother. I think he acted out with his behavior externally, even though internally he was feeling some type of way. But that athlete left a lasting imprint on my mom, because now she still to this day had that same feeling. Whereas sometimes when it comes to men, don't trust them, she will
and had major trust issues, which I think embedded in a lot of us. And Tina, she was the kid that if you were sheltered, then you wild out when you get out there on your own. And that's
we
what
were us. That was
because everything with us was 24/7 church. It was in church 24.
Not 24/7,
but we was in there Bible school, Bible study, rehearsal. It was everything. Then you had shut-ins, and that's probably what the world needs right about now is a good old-fashioned shut-in. But neither here or there. But at the same time,
but it's not only incest, but you got to think of some of the things. You have addictions, you have blended families, you have more blended families.
To elaborate on that. That's
okay, and what about molestation? Because
exactly
that is something. And in the Bronx family, that's another.
That was on my mom's side.
And that's very hurtful. It's a lot that goes on because you don't expect to see that within your family dynamic. You don't expect that from a uncle or a cousin or a brother or a sister. And at that time, it's people see it as wanting to experience things, but at the same time, it leaves a lasting impression and an effect on the person themselves, whoever is involved, and they carry it with them, not knowing that it's affecting them within their relationships, with how they build relationships with people, how they interact with people.
Exactly.
And it does do something. It does affect the person. It does do something to the mindset, because then it's did I do something in a wrong?
Relationship, and then they take whatever that they learned from that relationship and that family unit. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's going to be divided, and then they actually whatever that they were taught or whatever they was learned, they're definitely going to.
Oh Lord, go ahead.
It's definitely going to show in their intimate relationships or in their friendships.
Exactly.
And because they don't know how to internally behave. They feel in their mind that that's normal.
And I'm learning, being in therapy, I could actually be a psychologist or psychiatrist because therapist, because actually I've learned being that I've been to therapy the first time, that it was a healing process for me, for my dad, because it was a traumatizing thing of what I went through. But my dad was trying to protect us, and I wasn't seeing it like that, no shape, nor form. But what I'm trying to say is this: most time when you go to therapy, it all stems from how you are brought up, of what the parents,
a product of your environment.
Exactly.
Because your environment teaches you how to deal with conflict. Your environment teaches you your behavior to an extent, but it's
internalized.
No, it all stems. Even with my daughter, I had to really kind of ask my daughter for forgiveness because of things she's seen or she didn't want to see, and things that happened to her, because I'm also that product of what happened to me, like, it wasn't a family secret, but for me personally, what I went through with my children. So now I'm always on guard, like with certain people, like making sure nothing happened to my grandchildren. Nobody touched nothing with my grandchildren. So now I'm on guard. But now I see with my daughter, my oldest daughter, where she can demasculate a man like my mother. And then like my baby daughter, she don't show emotions unless you really push her to the edge. Like she really won't. She's not that one to show emotions like that. Now my son, he'll tell you how he feel, but like my daughter is more like me, but you can tell
the
that
oldest one, because you just keep saying daughters. You have 2 daughters and son,
I said
so they got to know which one you're talking about.
Well, the oldest one, I did say that. Mm-hmm. Well, the oldest one is more like me, but it's like because I was a young mom, and that's another issue because I was young.
Right, say hey now, don't say that I'm not that bad.
I didn't say you was bad.
What did Tina say?
That's just what she was saying. Church ran me into the arms of the devil.
She said, growing up, what happens in the house stays in the house.
Oh my God.
That's you had learned that from mommy and daddy.
I definitely learned that.
Yes.
Like whatever goes on within this house, and then that's the thing. And then you not deal. It's like it's almost like suppressing what it is that's going on behind the doors, and it's a cry. It's the worst cry for help.
See, that's where the family secret lies.
Yes, and that's what.
And I learned that. That's what I'm saying. I learned that when I had to take my kids to therapy, because I was taking my kids to therapy when they were 3, 4, and 5 or something like that. And I had to, when I went through with my children.
Yes. And I think it's hard to be transparent to some things, because still at the end of the day, I kind of picked that up the strongest, but I can be transparent about some things. But at the same time, that's why I said I choose what I want to share.
And
it's
I
not
call her
for everybody.
Secret Society.
Yeah, they call me Secret Society because I didn't share what they wanted. I share what I wanted to share.
Mirage.
Yes, and then that's the thing. But still having to deal with the different things that were going on behind the closed doors. So it's like that balance. I mean, we had balance as a parent. Like I was more of the religious one versus he was more of the, well, let's just say emotional, logic, religious, world. I'm not gonna say worldly, but the balance was there for my children. So they all was bubbly kids, but the different things that were going on, I still didn't have it. They all took away and had their own characteristics, but they also picked up characteristics from me and their dad.
But you got to understand this, and I'm just going to say this, and I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing, but it's a thing that is just something to take notice on. It's that when you tell someone not to basically let that out, and the only person that they can talk to is basically the people that's in the household. Like they have to internalize that as young
because they
children.
don't trust. They're not going to be able to trust anyone, and that's where my trust
now when they're older.
From.
They're going to have that issue.
And that's why I said it all comes from childhood. Exactly. It really does. Because we were brought up like that. We were brought up in that society. The old, like our generation is the last of the generation where, you turn your head away from the man beating up on you, abusing you,
and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And in regards to what you talk about, Tanisha, yes, my family, with me being called the Secret Society at that time, at the husband then, which is the children's dad, we definitely allowed communication. They were able to verbalize and vocalize. We had a very open, within the house, but it was like not to carry that information beyond that point. So it was like anything you needed to share with us, and we work on it. But but it's it shows restriction. But they learn to grow. That's what I said. But some things they break generational curses and different things because of what we were taught. Because that's the generation we came from. Was what goes on this house stays in this house.
Well, we learned that from our family, and they learned it from their family.
Okay, so Tanisha said, I always told my children,
if it happens, I better know about it. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to me, call your grandmother, your aunt, or just tell somebody. Exactly. And that's why I think, even though it was, we were called the Secret Society, my child still was able to come out to me about as far as her sexual preference and stuff. Like we still provided a comfortable environment for them to think, but it was like we chose to choose what information was to come out for everyone to share and know. Mm-hmm. So, because people are judgmental, people is not going to understand. And that was the mindset and from which we operated in. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, we wanted them it was like pretty much sheltering them. So it's like, but as with anything, there's pros and then there's cons. Because then now I have two that really can, like, they open them up when they feel like opening them up, but behind closed doors, they got mouth, tongue, everlasting. And that would be my son, my youngest son, and my youngest daughter. Now, the two oldest, they were more social. So they were able to go out and did more things. As were the two, they limited and restricted themselves as far as what they did. But, it was different things that went on that within the home. But I don't think it did anything to where it caused a feud between them, per se, where they was against each other. But they all took away their own experience.
Well, just know that that's definitely lucky that they don't have to experience that. I'm quite sure with any sibling, there's going to be sibling rivalries.
Oh yeah,
because then, like, especially older than us, generations older than us, or it could be our generation as well, where you have parents that kind of have favoritism, especially if they have more than one. Do you feel like you have a favorite?
No, child? But in their eyes, I treat them all. And from my perspective,
but I'm told that you got a favoritism in one.
But I don't though.
See, in your eyes, that's how you feel.
Because that's how exactly.
But on the outside people looking
your
in,
kids don't feel that way. Your kids don't feel that way.
Like if I ask my son now, Trey, do you feel I have a favorite? Do you feel like I favorite anyone?
How you gonna say I do? Who's my favorite?
Out of your siblings, do you feel like I favorite one more than the other?
Who's my
not decisions favor?
I heard you. I said sisters.
So you think I favor the sisters more?
Yes.
Okay, so he said I favor the sisters.
Okay,
more.
She don't give him the eyes though.
I give him the eyes.
She said Lexus. Andrew said we all know what the truth is.
Andrew, Wayne Butch Jones. We're not doing that today.
How you gonna say my favorite is Alexis? I get on all of y'all.
Let me tell you something. Not every child is. No, I'm not going to get
every child is different, and every child is different.
Exactly. So it's not that it's a favoritism. Andrew has always been independent since he was young. He learned how to walk, talk, all that stuff, cook early, young. You know what I mean? He's
old
young.
Soul.
Yes, he's very old soul, very mature for his age. Now, with my youngest son, I had to.
Him.
I
just like if I feel with Trey, and that's why I think I decipher between the two, and he might feel like I favor the sisters because they were more social than he was. He's not a social person. He kind of reminds me of stuff like he's like a hermit.
And how you gonna say Alexis? I don't have no favoritism. I get on everybody
equally.
Yes,
he's an ASJ. Please don't put my government. Please don't cut my government out here, Miss Ma'am. Thanks, love. Tina said, I don't have a favorite, but I do tend more to my sons because he's my only. And I think I feel the same way. Like they say, I babyfy him. I don't babyfy. I don't feel like I enable them to an extent. Because I feel like at the end of the day, I enable all of them. For real. I think we all do. Because that's just us parents.
Yeah, that's just parent.
You can't keep saying I do because I don't. How you gonna say?
I think she probably feel that way because you and Raya are like I can't even say like this. Y'all is like one finger.
Bees in a pod. Two bees in a pod.
Yeah,
one is just more extreme, but y'all both have the same character.
She can't say is Alexis. Alexis is one. She don't like confrontation.
Yes, a mother and a son bond does hit different than what it is with the girls.
Yes, and my son
is more relatable for us. It's easier to relate to the girls, but it's a little harder for. I feel that's why I sometimes try to,
not for me.
Mm-mm. Like for me, like because it's like that's why I take the time and like go out when I'm not with. Like, yeah.
No, I don't have that.
Or talk to him.
No, my oldest and my youngest are the social butterflies. They are very, 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 very social. Now, the middle girl, she's not a social butterfly. You know, even though I want her to be, but she's not. So I'm not, she's
because there's a middle child syndrome. I'm just going to say we're the forgotten ones. I
don't forget
it's like
her.
No, because There's no problems going on or anything. Oh, they all right.
Because they were the sneaky ones.
Well,
whether we were
she
sneaky
is.
or what? And I will admit
she
to that.
popped up
Yes.
pregnant.
Very sneaky.
Popped up pregnant, and then the first thing she'll go.
But that is one of the dynamics.
You said so.
Yeah, so. But that is one of the dynamics I feel as a middle child. Well, okay. Mm-hmm.
Well,
so
I don't feel that I don't feel that I have a favorite because I get on all three of the kids equally as much. And also, with that being said, yes, me and Azariah's attitude is alike. But see,
Azariah, I'm done.
Whatever.
Okay.
If Alexis, you up here, all Alexis can say is, no, I don't get in trouble. I don't.
And I was the same way. I didn't get in trouble. It's like
trouble.
Because we did my motto, because what all that was going on with them dynamic, it was, I'm gonna tell you my favorite quote that I walked around saying when I was a child: "This too shall pass. This will not last always. I just got to do what I got to do." I mean, I went through the proper channels of dating. I went through the proper channels. Yes, I went through. I still got my beatings and stuff. I had my fair shares, but most of the time, the attention was always on these two. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Why do you feel? Why are you like that though?
Because that's what happened. I'm telling you my experience. What do you mean? Why am I like that? I'm like that because of my experience.
Because it makes me feel some type of way.
Make you feel some type of what way? That's my truth. How does it make you feel?
Because
how's it gonna make you
just
feel
like how
that can't be hostile now.
It makes me feel like Alexis, because Alexis is quick to say, I ain't never got into trouble.
I know the same way, and that's how we are, because most times, look at the middle children, and then sometimes I'll be seeing these memes and posts in regards to about, for the second child be ready to fight and throw hands and all that type of stuff. Not really. I'm more of a thinker before I react.
She is.
I'm more the calm one before I react.
She is.
But I'm calm. I have
grown into that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say let's make it real.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I've grown being that way.
I'm not gonna, because
you was not always that way. And this one was, and I told her about it. I said they think Avis was bad. She more loses it. At least she has some kind of cognizance. This one losing is blackout. And I don't like that feeling, but I never, like I said, yes, I was the one, like, I see what they was going through, or the tension that I wish I would, like, not gonna say wish that I got, that she got, and then the tension that she got. So you as the middle child, yes, it was for me. I mean, it didn't cause no rivalry or anything, but it did make me feel some type of way.
It did.
But it did make me feel some type of way, because we just talked about
sometimes it feels like you can be isolated and be
exactly. So it taught me to be exactly, because I was isolated. What do you expect? I was isolated because I was out of the way. There was no attention really given. Most times the second child really don't. It's like they fend for themselves. They on their own. Yeah. And yes, sometimes it causes us to be seen, because ain't nobody going to ask me.
They
nothing.
Don't cause you.
Nobody looking at me. And my mentality. My mentality was nobody's looking. Nobody's giving me attention, so I can do what I want and get underneath the radar. But that's because I was
underneath the radar, right?
Okay.
Here you go. He said, "That's right, Cinderella."
And yes, I was Cinderella. I did a lot of chores and stuff.
Okay, wait a minute. God. Let me get Tanisha. Said, "No man, the middle child, can't be forgotten. We are the best children ever." And then Tina said, "Being the fifth
soldiers." The middle child is the no limit soldiers.
I don't know about her. She wouldn't.
Tanisha said, "I learned how." No,
I learned how not to get beat from the oldest child. The youngest got away with everything. Exactly. Yeah. That is what I'm talking about. Exactly.
What you did.
She told me we learned from her. Can't do this with the fingernail polish. Couldn't, and some of the stuff we couldn't even experience because of her. So it's like, well, dang. Why was
can't experience that? Because you got away with stuff. You was the brat.
But I don't see. Okay, so getting back to the family, we digress. Because we have a tendency to go off these.
Y'all trying to paint a picture that,
but it's still that way like that right now.
How,
girl? Please.
But a lot of times it is something that we as a family unit, like she said, we have also blended families. That is the new modern day age family, because there's a lot of divorce rates and a lot of people coming together. And it's kind of hard when you have family feuds where some people don't want or try to how can you say dictate and delegate how you're going to be with that child, or they use the children as pawns to, or for you to govern the way you should govern. Like you'll have some people say, because say that parent is going through, well, some of the parents, if they have a feud with the other side of the, oh, I'm not going to take them to your side of the family. Oh, I'm not going to take you to your side of the family because they don't act right, or they have an issue or a dynamic going on amongst the outside family.
Right.
And then it causes issues for the family, the actual family itself.
It causes issues with the children.
And the children feel the effects of the dynamics because of the hurt. You just minimize it. The hurt that they experience from receiving from blended families, because it is even harder because you're bringing two families together.
Let me say this, or let me ask this for those who are in blended families. For women that do have men that take on the responsibility of being a stepfather or being a father to their children,
Or vice versa.
Yes, or vice versa. Women being stepmothers to the men's children. There has got to be boundaries set
In the beginning.
because you can't say, oh, you want a man that's going to help me with my children, and then turn around
and contradict or
try to stop discipline,
the disciplinary measures. And that's why I even with
because why
Kenny,
I'm saying that is that can also be
because you don't want to overstep your boundaries.
Because
and the thing is, you are added. This is how I feel when it comes to the blended, and it's something I share.
Thought, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, but you get it back after
I can't.
This is my thing when it comes to like the blended family. The thing is, you're not trying to take that person's place. I'm not trying to take the place of the mother. You're like a added mentor. You're an added guidance, a bonus mom, a bonus person that can leave an impression on that person. You understand? So even if they don't feel going to their own biological, that bonus parent might be comfortable enough, and they might be comfortable enough to go to that bonus parent versus going to their own biological. So that's one of the pros
also
with that. But knowing your boundaries,
they know how to play.
They know how to play roles. And they learn. They know how to play one against each other.
Yes.
Exactly.
Amen.
So, exactly. Yep. They pissed me off at the family dinner. I'm snatching my kids and we're out. Oh Lord.
Okay.
But then it becomes my kids now. Then it's like my kids. Like the thing is, it's a matter of respect.
I'm not gonna say
the boundaries were put in place.
I've been there, done it, honey. I ain't gonna lie, because I feel like this. We have different way of raising our children, and then if you feel like, oh, I'm more the disciplinarian, which I am, I'm not going to treat the kids no different way. But then if you want to be, because I feel sometimes, and now with grandkids, you want to be the good cop, bad cop, and I'm the bad cop. I don't have a problem with that. But in the end, I'm going to show you and nurture and teach, because that's who I am. And that's how I was brought up. And that's how I was taught. But if you keep putting this good cop, bad cop, I feel some type of way, because you feeling like, oh,
but it can cause a breakdown. And
yes.
And then the thing is that the children are affected by this, because then they cause a breakdown within a relationship and make it hard for the relationship. Exactly.
Yeah, and we still do it to the day.
Exactly.
Like it really is. Now that they're creeped into the grandkids. And
they can sense that. They see that.
And the kids are smart. The grandkids are smart. They're coming up.
Each children, they
are. And it already speaks of the Bible. It talks about each generation is going to be wiser, but so they might be wiser through, but they're going to be weaker when it comes to, how they act out, what they do, and all that type of stuff, subject to more things. But it's already been spoken into past, so it's to be expected. But when we do talk about,
but my thing is, when the parents don't acknowledge their children, or they think their children is on this pedestal when they the main ones is doing stuff, but then you talking about my children, they this bad person, and I'm like, I'm not allowing
be about my children, your children,
right?
It's our children, and what you do for one should be given to each one across the board. And it shouldn't be where they sense that there is a separation and a division within the discipline, within the giving, within the sharing of emotions, within how you support. That should be equally across the board. And if the consistency and all that is not there, you're going to have a tendency to act out. That's how I feel. And that's just my personal preference. I'm not saying that I'm right. Again, don't hold these.
Hopefully the parents would be able to see that before they go to their grave. Because, I mean, much like that you experienced, because that would definitely be hard for me to experience that. As far as the blended family.
Tina, you must be going hard, honey. She said, you right, it do affect the kids, and they be yelling, I want auntie, and I'm yelling, blank, blank, your auntie. Girl,
what'd you say, sis?
Like for your blended family. And I know that hasn't been hard because you had more kind of favoritism. You had favoritism in it. And then you had like people not wanting you to discipline the children,
discipline was different,
but want the gratitude and all the
other that comes with
stuff. So not being able to do that, but you being like the sole person that they actually come to, and not their own parents, like that would be a very hard thing to deal with. And just for you to dealing with it, and now they're all grown, basically. I mean, I salute you, because I mean, there has been times that, you know, when I was not of like where I'm at now, that, you know, the woman's mother, I mean, she did some things that, you know.
And then at that time, you're young in identity. But
very questionable.
And everybody,
as a mother.
But everybody has different environments in which they were brought up in. And all we're doing is trying to do the very best. And then when it comes to these secrets and stuff, then the kid's not really feeling comfortable. Who can they turn to?
Exactly.
Who can I talk to? If not even my own environment is comfortable enough for me to feel comfortable to tell them how I feel. If my emotions is not taken into consideration, if my parents not even giving me a voice. That's why I said sometimes, even as parents, as much as we want to chastise and reprimand, you still got a lot of choice for that child to have a voice to express what it is they're feeling, because sometimes they're acting out of whatever it is that they're internalizing and seeing within their environment.
Their behavior is.
So, and I'm not coming up here to be preachy and all that, like I'm the perfect thing, because like I said, there is no perfect person, there is no perfect hand guide. I'm just speaking from experience, and it might seem kind of harsh. I'm not trying to be harsh, but the thing is, I'm just trying to give insight to how some of the feuds and different things can start, and then how some children are put against each other. Yes. Some feel as if though one is not or love more than the other, and then that's the thing. But that's why I say always do everything in love and make sure it's shared across the board.
Sideline, because you have those that's older than us in our generations where they have blended families and they still stay together.
Yeah.
They had blended families where the man cheated and then the woman still had to take care of
the outside children. Exactly. And then some of them didn't even, at that time in that generation, that's another thing that affected the families, is when they had to learn about outside children out of wedlock that was outside of the marriage.
They stayed all in
and they still stayed together. But it takes an effect, because then you're going to grow up and know, I got a sister down the street.
No, this is right there. That's what they were. Okay.
Oh my God. Or I got brothers, and the thing is, it's kind of upsetting, because these are actions that we as adults choose.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. We as adults, we make choices, and it's our choices that determine the lifestyle. This is what I always tell my kids. He's right there witness. I always said it's your choices that determine your lifestyle. So if you choose to be with that mate, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of choosing. If that person wasn't going to want to be there, then you can't fault them, because they told you from the gate what it is that they were looking for, what it is that I can't get mad at the person that I chose. And then, it's like people I think it has no need to take or feel the need to take accountability for the actions that they avoid. Everybody always look at the opposite people, but there are some things that we allow, even as standby or outside looking in. There are some things that we draw a blind eye to. Like, that's how some of the secrets come about.
No,
we kind of can have a notion,
we know,
or intuition. This is going on, but we want to block it out because we don't want to believe it.
No, we don't want to address it,
and that too. And then that's how all of that anger, resentment, and all this acting out begins and starts. And then people think it just came out of nowhere. No, it didn't come from out of nowhere. It came because it was suppressed and the child wasn't able to voice internally what it is that they was feeling, and they didn't know how to, so they act out other ways. And then we wonder why they're on a rampage. We want to know why they're sneaking out and doing this, that, and the other. And the thing is, you got to lead by example.
They might have PTSD.
Or why, yes.
Like things like that actually do happen. It's very, very real.
Yeah. So and that's pretty much the thing that we got to take in consideration. And then you got to look at the generational things that most family has different curses, but it's up to us to break it. Because some people say like you can't blame everything on a curse either. You have the ability to change the direction.
It is not a curse. And I think where that stem from
and the church.
So that's not a curse. The thing is that the choices that people make. It's not a curse.
And the thing is, the choices come from what they had already been brought up in that environment. So sometimes some of the choices that the parents made is continuously made by the same yes. And so they say curse because in the Bible they call it curses. But it is at the end of the day the choice. So okay. So we're trying to break those generational dynamics.
Well, I'm actually living witness of the blended family. And I'm still going through some things today with the blended family. But I'm going to tell you this, like they was just saying, because they witnessed it firsthand. Yes, certain children didn't know how to deal with because the parents did not know or receive the same kind of love that were given to them.
Exactly. Some have not received.
It took me a long time to understand that. Like it came from my first lady, for real. She was like, well, for real, they don't know how to love because they never had that love. So, but I'm feeling like this. Well, why get on me and envy my situation because I had a mom and dad in a home? Even though
and I want to go to say that it's
even though it could have been abuse, it was abusive at times, but sometimes I brought that on myself.
What?
Yeah, I did. I brought that. See, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I brought that on myself.
Yeah, I remember one incident when you was asked to say the grace.
Yeah, I brought it on myself.
That was outside of normal grace that we were taught.
Yes, I brought some stuff on myself. Yeah, so, but like with the kids in the blended family, like it's their environment, and then the parents don't know, and then I felt like I have to.
She said, "I tell you that all the time."
True, but like with my daughter, she always say, "Mommy, at the end of the day, if you and Dad leave, like if we like break up or divorce or whatever, something happens," because she's like that glue to hold everybody together, which she really is. So I'm like this because, my kids see that I go beyond the call of duty, which I do. But sometimes I just want it reciprocated back because my kids, I feel like this. We are there for one another. Just like my family is, my sisters,
but everybody don't have that family dynamic.
Exactly. We're there.
Everybody. Yes. I said everybody like don't get a chance to experience
like
that.
My kids that I brought up, that
all of us did that. The nurture. So
we're the ones.
Your family is your support, your backbone, like your tribe. Like we talk about the community.
Yes, but like we are always been there for one another. But then when you look at that, it's just like I'm gonna take from you. And then it's a hurtful feeling because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I don't even do this to my own mother. But it's just like the parents is not even saying nothing. The parents don't even say nothing.
Not until you say something to.
And then when I go pop, go to weasel, then I'm looking stupid. And I blame myself at times because I feel like I put too much, but I do that because.
But then you put expectations on them. looking for them. You're expecting, and you're putting expectations on them because of how you. And that's what I was trying to tell people when we spoke about that before. When it comes to expectations, when we put unlimited expectations on people, we feel because that's how we do, that's how we act, that's how we respond. We want everybody else to do the same thing.
But at the same time, you have to think of this. Because I know my mantra is this: I treat people how I want to be treated. So I am teaching you how to treat me. Not everybody's going to get that concept. Not everybody's going to receive that. Not everybody's able to give that back. So
whatever, Raya.
That's why most of them come to me anyway. But go ahead.
So the thing is, when you do it because you want to do it. Do it out of love.
It's got to be genuine. And see, some people don't know how
to. Again, the topic.
The topic is talking about
family feuds and
the secrets that stem from it, and basically just dealing with the family dynamic and how it affects your relationships, be it friendships, between friends, intimate spouses, significant others, and all that. And then we were just not too long talking about the different blended families and the dynamics and how it can cause divisions in the home and shines. I mean, because we all experience
incest, addiction, everything, dysfunctions,
the molestation,
within the family dynamic.
Tanisha said, "Never expect anything from anyone,
and you will never be disappointed."
I agree, but my thing.
So the thing is, from what standpoint are you doing? Are you doing it to receive something back?
Yeah, because some people
are. So
no, now I'm not.
We want when you hear me speak about reciprocation, I'm not talking about I want you to give it back in the way that I'm giving it. I just want you, whatever form in which you're giving it, long as I know that I'm able to receive it. Like it's just not one side. It's not unrequited. Yes, and it's not unrequited. I got to accept
just like a mother, though.
And it's just like the love language. We have different love. Like my love language, I know is the loving, the nurturing. My husband to be, he is more acts of service. He's more of hands-on and doing the things that I ask.
PDA, public the
he does. Yes,
affection.
We just talked about that.
He don't do. I think me and him definitely got to work on the public display of affection. But we do it.
I can't stand
the saying "what goes in my house stays in my house." That messed a lot of black folks, and we just not too long finished talked about because we talked about how they call me secret society and stuff, and how it can work against you because that's the thing. Things could be going on and people are not addressing it. And then there's a lot of hurt and people walking around with dysfunction from where they either been molested, then started addictions. People, I mean, you have uncles and stuff. I mean, it's just different things that goes on. And we draw a blind eye and we feel, and we don't want to seem to believe it. But the thing is, it's going on. It needs to be addressed. And the thing is, now everybody should have a voice. That's what I said. It should not just be, there should be moments where you can be transparent and have a voice to be able to verbalize and vocalize what it is that you're feeling and what's actually going on so that you can get whatever help that you need. Because yes, that motto or that cliche that everybody says, what goes in my house stays in my house, does not work for everything. Because that means you could be getting molested and they feel like, well, I'm going to get chastised or reprimanded if I speak on what's going on with me. Because I was told, and I don't want to make the family look bad, or I don't want to make the call anything that brings shame to my family.
And I'm quite sure mom remember this because we still got the obituary of daddy. That I mean, this is facts. That his dad was not put into his obituary. It was asked not to be put into the.
Secret. That was a big family secret.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Nobody wants to deal with what brings shame to the family.
Wait a minute, Tina making a good point. She said the things that women accept back in the day, like cheating and having babies on the side, nowadays we're not accepting. And you're right. I'm not accepting that, even being domestically abused.
But we as women, and I see it all on social media as the platform, like the black woman is got to be angry and black and mad, that we're just aggressive. Like, why? Because we don't want to put up with
your bullshit
that we.
I just said it just like that. Your bullshit.
And said it again. Okay.
I'm saying the truth because it's the truth. Why would I feel that we're pretty. God made us this way. God made us, and why are we?
All of them laughing now.
It's true.
But it's like if we as black women, if we're not submissive, if we're not doing
right,
I guess our part, then we're angry black women. Then there's
that's a lie.
And moments that we can be loud, that we can do that, but not every woman is like that. You have women that okay, say like this, and this is just a sidebar. This is a sidebar because you have like, say you have Karens, and the Karens are what? They're the white women that call out black or race. They're being racist, but they're being called Karen. But if anytime we do something, we're the angry black woman.
You know what I mean? For the
why they give a name,
I might speak about.
Why give them a name? But we got angry black women or a diary of a black woman,
and then like Tanisha says,
the same woman that birthed y'all.
And then Tanisha said that you're right. The women today deal with so much more, and it's public these days. These women are set to be embarrassed, and that is not okay. And that's what I am. It's like we're to be on mute and not to have a voice is what it's made felt. Mm-hmm. Like we're to just accept and allow the disrespect. We're to accept being cheated on. It's not, I mean, it's just different things. You gotta, that's what we say, when you gotta have to know your worth, and nobody's perfect.
And that is the difference. Knowing what you're worth, knowing who you are, because a black woman, regardless of what, we're gonna, we hold a lot of nations on our backs.
Yes.
And we're very strong.
Yes.
So I feel that
and it's not to say that we're trying to take the role of the man, because some women can be dominant.
Some women
but the
can.
thing is, because of what we saw our forefathers went through, our parents and different people before us, we are determined that we're not going to experience and that we are stronger. But we're still, at the end of the day, still women. We're still emotional.
Okay.
We're still going to cry. We're still going to have our weak moments. We're still going to be times where we feel lonely. We feel like we're by ourselves, like the world, the weight is on top of us. I mean, it's just, we're going to experience those things.
The women back in the day wanted their family to...
I'm going to say, to hell with the family. I will not be embarrassed. And that's on Merlin, Mary, and the Lamb. Right. But that's the some of the dynamics.
Can I say this though? I just want to say this. I called that, when I said that word, I mean it, but I feel like this.
We should. You said it twice.
I did. Because yes. But it's all right. Because I feel like this. My mom, she really got on me, and I was like, and I went to her again, one of those times where I vent to my mom, and she said, "You know what, Zaya, you'll wake up, you'll realize when you get tired of certain things." Yeah, I woke up, but it's to the point. No, I woke up in a certain way where I'm not crying, and I have a backbone now. I'm not crying, but the thing is, I'm trying to be. You know what?
Okay. Sidebar. Go ahead.
I'm not trying to be. Okay. I'm trying to be submissive, but I'm not trying. Are you saying I'm not?
I'm saying that she needs a little bit of this.
Be quiet.
Something to calm you. Your anxiety be on high.
See, you see how they are. You see?
Well,
wait a minute.
We done
y'all telling on me. Y'all saying I'm not the only one. Hold on.
No, what we said was we're going to sing a song at the end.
I'm not the only sister that don't take no.
I'm not dominant like that. Like, I don't have a problem being submissive.
What? And neither do I.
I don't have definitely be submissive. But that's what it says in the Bible. And for as long as the man is showing love, that's if you're giving the proper love. Because not everybody people don't value marriages even more like anything. And that's the other thing.
In a relationship.
They feel that anything goes these days. And the devil is a liar and a deceiver too. And by the grace of God, no. I was able to be fortunate to come into a relationship. Whatever was in his past is his past. How I'm being treated is totally different than whatever it was that he went through.
The errors of my ways.
And what that means. You can be
and take accountability. I take accountability what I did.
I already said that a year or two ago since we started this. Yeah, I already said that, but I'm not spiteful now. I'm not. I've calmed down some.
But then the thing is, you also got to know.
I said some.
We got to find ways. Like, that's why we even talk about therapy and stuff of that nature. Like, you have to let go of some of this anger, the bitterness and stuff. Because at the end of the day.
Because I feel enough is enough.
The man was torn from the homes, went into slavery, and had to go work the fields. So the division is
they went to other families. They were sold into slavery and
went to other
homes.
Yes, and went to other homes. States. And exactly, that was blended family way back then. If you look at it, so come on, let's be real.
And
you
the woman
really
had
look
to
at
take care of the children.
Exactly, and we had to do the very best that we can with the limited restriction tools and equipment that was given us to be able to survive from day to day. So it was back then. This is nothing new under the sun. It's just like Tanisha said. It's just more public. We got more social media. Everything is. Politically correct and everything. I mean,
we got the Me Too movement because we are powerful. That's what we are.
Yeah, and now we're learning to be independent. That's why I think that some men might. It's not to say that they're intimidated, but it's like then they don't want to put up because it's like, well, she don't need me for nothing. Mm-hmm. But God didn't create it that way. So that's why I said never feel. I'm not saying that we should rely and be dependent upon a man, but don't ever try to feel as if though you don't need a mate. No, I'm not talking about prestige and gaining education and titles and of that nature. At the end of the day, you want to feel the same love that you give. It should not just be getting it from the children. That's another thing. When you try to just love on the children, because at the end of the day, the children's going to go out and find their own love, and you sitting there looking simple. Lord forgive me. But it's the truth. If I'm hurting your feelings, I'm sorry. But the thing is, because look at it. You look to your children to give you the love that you didn't receive from that broken relationship. Mm-hmm. Then you use the children to actually affect, because the love that you didn't get, you're taking your anger out. The kids see the anger, and then therefore they're going to start acting out because they didn't get or receive what they wanted in that relationship. So they're suffering because of what the broken relationship didn't work out between that. Instead of you going to find a love and making the choices, it's all out. It's choice. You chose to be with that person. You chose to be with that. But we learn and grow. The thing is to learn and grow. That's why I can't harbor. That's why I say I don't harbor anybody. Anybody that I've been with, even after outside my marriage, when my first marriage ended, it was all a lesson. I'm not, if I offended, which I know I'm not Betty Crocker the two shoes.
Yeah, some things that
there are some things that I've done and that I've had to learn and grow from. And you believe what you want to believe. I'm not chasing down no rumors. I'm not chasing down what you heard. It is what it is. I own it and I move forward. That's why I said we put expectations and people on pedestals because of whatever lifestyle. Yes, we have a standard to hold ourselves up to, but at the end of the day, it's still choices, and we learn from the failures.
Okay,
we learn from our mistakes.
Real quick, for me,
don't choose that path again.
Okay, real quick, for me to be submissive, you're going to be doing the ultimate. I'm strong-willed, and I don't feel like these men that have other motives want us to submit have got to be smoking some good stuff.
One of us to submit have got to be smoking some good stuff. Do unto others
as you want done to you.
Yeah,
that is my.
And that's what I'm basically saying. Like, and then the thing is, if you want loyalty, you got to show loyalty. But if the red flags are there and you choose to ignore it and you want to stay there and say, "Oh," and that's what I did. Oh, give it another try. Give it another try. Give it another try. How many more times that you exactly and you can fix? I can't fix somebody because that's not going to happen.
Absolutely not.
It's not. You have to change yourself.
The
change starts. Sometimes we are the problems. But yes, we're gonna do a song because we dang on there past our time. I think we got passionate into talking about what we were talking about, and we kind of digressed. But we still try to bring it all together. We are so sorry. We just giving you insight and just into us as sisters. So it's what it's all about. If we reach one through our experiences, it's all good. Get past the lust and see what's left. True.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. And amen again. But the thing is, and then you find them because nobody's perfect out here either. You got to find the perfectly imperfect person for you. The thing that you're willing to deal with. What's your deal breakers? What's your boundaries? What's your choice? It's your choice. It's going to determine the type of person. It's what you attract. It's what you allow. You can't put everything on just, I'm not going to, and it might be for the man, and that might feel like I'm in the corner. We can't put everything on the man all the time because sometimes it's stuff that we allow. You can't get upset with the stuff that you allow.
Checkmate.
If you allow it, they're going to continue to do it. It's when you put a stop to it. It's when you decide to choose you. It's when you, and that goes for the men too.
Evangelist.
No, I'm just saying it goes for the men too. Because I don't like trying to be preachy either, but that's how my mentality is. And I've grown because I came from a place. I'm not saying that it was all bad or good, but I learned. It was lessons that I took in and I learned. Yeah. But we can't affect and allow it to hurt the next person who is willing to give the love. Right.
She said, is willing. Too much of a high standard
will leave you biased. Exactly. Like, nobody saying you have to lower your expectations.
Much of a high standard.
Yeah, but like it's like that video that what's they saying, like how you want somebody to be built, cut and stuff, you're not even in the gym yourself. How you want somebody to make this amount of money and you're not making that money yourself? How you gonna want him to give you roses and bring you things and you're not doing nothing to treat him out and show him love? So that's what I'm talking about, the reciprocation. That's what I'm talking about. What in the world is that? Oh, well, I don't know why they're doing that, but
she preaching.
I told you.
Okay, we got people coming all through inboxes and people talking about hearts. But this is what I'm saying. When people know that there is a balance, and there's got to be a balance of reciprocation. A person, I'm going to go for the heart that wants me, not the heart that's going to treat me like I'm an option.
Go, sis.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know what? Because I am going to brag and boast about mine. I've been through.
I know that.
You go.
I've been through. Go, Evangelist. I had to learn. I had to kiss a few frogs to get to where I'm at now today. So I'm appreciative. I'm not calling y'all frogs. I'm just saying. But y'all was it was a lesson for me. And I take it. And I hone it. I take in every lesson. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. That was not my intent.
She went.
It is what it is.
And Ryan said, y'all.
Yes, we're on a total different topic. Oh, Tina, you called him a frog. No, he's my prince. He's my king.
Yeah.
And actually, because after a while, once you go through everything that you've been through and you start going, the mate that finds you, and once you don't have to change somebody, cash app the evangelist. Let me stop, because now everybody talking about I'm preaching now. Oh, Lord, don't start something that you're not willing to continue. Women today do way too much to have a man made better by yourself.
Or may be better by yourself.
And that goes back to you. I can do bad all by myself. But also that also deals with
we're gonna calm you down.
Look.
But see, that's when they start calling the women bitter
and angry and all that type of stuff. But you also got to take accountability for your actions. What are you doing? What actions are you portraying? What are you talking about them being consistent? We got to be consistent.
We over our time.
Like, and the thing is, do you have that open communication to share so they can be comfortable to come to you and say, well, babe, this is what you did and you stop. And how are you receptive or are you going to be resistant?
Tina said, ouch.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. And like I said, I'm sorry. I am who I am, and I say what I say. As my husband, soon to be husband say what I mean what I say. Exactly. But my thing is, I'm very passionate when it comes to different things, especially relationships, because I endured a lot. And my whole thing is, I feel that I do have a voice to be able to speak from experience and to be able to get to where I am at this point in time. Mm-hmm. And so I am appreciative, and I know what I was worth. But I had to learn the lessons of what I deserve. Let the Lord use you. Y'all know what? Let's get ready to sing a song so we can close out.
I'm humming. Go ahead. I'm humming.
But I'm just saying, we kind of digress.
She did.
We got it because it's going to be a topic. It is therapy for me because
she said,
my thing is I feel
you
compassion.
Have to get something off your chest. Her chest.
Yes. And it's not so we're getting it off my chest because we are it's helping somebody along the way.
Exactly.
Right. The thing is, we have
to
see it from all points of views, and that's why I said I'm understanding.
Not just the women, but as
the men too. Well.
Exactly.
So that's why I said I don't knock the men either because they experience this. That's the thing. They've been shown that they can't even show their emotions, and here we are forcing them. Yes, I'm one of them to be vulnerable, but they have their own times in which they show their vulnerability. And when it does come, receive it and just accept it. So it is what it is. I'm sorry. I don't know if I was loud or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm passionate because then now you're going to put me onto a whole nother topic when it's my turn.
Absolutely not. But you want to go another 45 minutes?
No, we're not. We're going to sing this song and roll out.
I'm going to go. Y'all, I'm going to fit in the home.
Yes.
Fire say amen.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic in itself.
You do it. You
got
whatever you got it on your spirit to sing.
Because I know you must have the song on your mind.
No.
Right.
What do I love you, Lord, lift my voice?
No, I don't know because I'm humming. It doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly. Why are you even speaking to that?
Exactly. Go ahead.
When they do I love you, Lord, I lift my voice?
No, we can just end it.
Oh, Ty just said, get into it, Annie. Girl, you done came all late and wrong. I would, but time consuming. Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to sing a little bit of it, and then we're going to go on out because I wanted to compromise. That's why I said I listen to. That's why I tell them I empathize. I listen. But when people keep going through the same mountains, you're going to have to start analyzing and be like, okay, if you're suffering, what am I doing?
Exactly.
For it to keep happening to me. Exactly. And this is the part where I get adamant about, like, I don't want to hear it anymore because you're not doing nothing about it.
But it's more than the first time, though, love. More than the first time.
How many more times?
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
let's go.
Well, keep calling me. Okay.
Sing, mommy, stop it.
All right, I'm going to
sing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Part 2, Annie. Okay. Whew. I digress. Mm-hmm. All right.
Somebody said sing and encourage yourself.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And sometimes you have to speak victory during the test. No matter how you feel, speak a word and he will be there. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Only did that one part, but I'm going to do I love you, Lord. I just did that to throw that out there.
All right, see y'all, JJ.
But I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you, oh my soul. Rejoice, take joy, my King, in what you hear, and let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. And we'll sing this because of the time. We exalt thee for time purposes. We exalt thee. See, I done lost them. We exalt thee.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord, we exalt thee. We exalt thee. We exalt thee. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. God bless you. Y'all have a beautiful night. We see you on next week. Thank you for scooping it up in the sandbox. Good night, guys. Good night.
Somebody said I'm telling grandma. Y'all didn't tell me, Mom.